Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the international group stage. We are super excited. First game of the day, CLG versus Moscow 5, two top teams in the European scene. To contain my enthusiasm, I am Luminous and my co-caster for today is LD. We're both from dotacommentaries.com. LD, good morning. How are you? What is up, man?
Oh my god, I'm like bursting out of my seat right now. I can hardly remain seated. I want to like get up and run around the room a little bit, do some laps to work off all this energy. Hopefully the players are going to give us enough fantastic action that we'll have an outlet for it, because right now I do feel like a kid who's had too much sugar. Oh man, this is going to be fantastic. As far as our draft goes, well actually before we do that, let's talk about this match a little bit. So M5 is a team coming into this tournament. They really haven't been doing that well. They don't have good results. They've been very inconsistent. Back at Star Ladder, vigoss disappeared in the middle of the tournament. This is a team that has not really had a smooth sailing coming into the event. But they're also a team that when they get things going, when they're hot on land, they're a scary beast. They're as fearsome as any team. Going up against CLG, who has been doing very well coming into this event. So I would say CLG are probably the favorites, but don't count M5 out. I know a lot of the viewers there are just going to say, oh, CLG's going to wipe the floor with them. And maybe they will, but there's a good chance they won't.
Yeah, CLG, I mean, they are known for winning tournaments. That's what they do, day in, day out. They win tournaments for breakfast time. But M5, they have a really strong reputation by bringing their A game, A+ game to LAN. I mean, it starts with PGG, one of the best Enigma players, which banned today, unfortunately. But he brings his A game always to LAN events. And, well, we are kind of in a LAN environment, even though we're casting this from an online portion. They are physically there, and I'm sure M5 is ready to bring their A game. A couple of picks and bans are already on the way. And, LD, your thoughts on Darkseer, your thoughts on Lone Druid and Invoker?
Well, before we get to that, I'm just going to make sure my mic is working, because apparently it was not working for some of the viewers out there, but I tried toggling it on and off. Hopefully you guys can hear me in-game. Let me know if that's not the case. I will be keeping an eye on the stream chat until we're all sure that the audio issues are sorted out. Looks like they have been resolved, so I guess just toggling it is sort of the magic fix, turn it on and off. And sometimes you just have to restart your computer. It's the fix-all. But Lone Druid and Invoker get picked up. M5 had very strong glading heroes, but heroes that need a lot of farm, need a lot of levels, and CLG get that jack of all trades. You, I, and gods are all in agreement. Hey, we're all Davids. It's only appropriate. Darkseer, by far the strongest hero in the metagame right now. And just fits into whatever you want to do. Put him in the offlane. We've seen him go solo mid very effectively against heroes like Templar Assassin. He can jungle if you need to. We even saw yesterday, World Elite tried to roam around with their Darkseer, play a ganking style. It worked out okay at first. It didn't in the end, but I wouldn't say the Darkseer was the problem. They follow it up for CLG with a Chen and a Morphling. Team with a lot of mobility. This team is going to be damn hard to kill above all else.
Yes, survivability is what CLG is doing right now. Hand of God coming from afar, Surge coming from afar. Of course, no way you could kill Morphling unless you're throwing about 25 stuns at him, and you only have so many, so it's very difficult to kill anybody on this team, let alone the most dangerous hero, which is the Morphling. But going back to the M5 side, I love their synergy. We're probably going to be seeing a Maelstrom build coming from Lone Druid. Invoker most likely going to have Alacrity somewhere in there, and can you imagine that bearer? Hyperstone, Maelstrom, Alacrity, Rapid, and a couple of Glove of Haste, and perhaps even a Maelstrom. That bearer will give you high fives repeatedly so fast that your hand's gonna hurt when you're trying to slap it down.
A very bloody high five,
yes.
Though, I have to say. Yeah, the bear Invoker combo is so strong. We've actually seen some of the Asian teams like to combo these two up with a Bounty Hunter to give some increased movement speed to the entire team, and also if you start getting the kills, it just becomes this gigantic death ball of doom rolling your way. We'll have to see if that's an M5 wants to run. But the one hero that I'm curious to see, who is vigoss going to be playing? Nightstalker and Windrunner in the pool, and we already have our answer. The drama, the suspense, immediately spoiled by M5. We'll be very surprised if it's not vigoss played this Windrunner, but we never know. I was actually about to say, I really think Nightstalker would fit in fantastically this game. There's no stuns to deal with him if he power dives, and that silence up against Chen, Morphling, and Darkseer, these are all casting heroes. Even Morphling is to a large degree, so I think Nightstalker still has a place, or could have a place in the lineup. Maybe not so much now because they pick up the Windrunner. But either way, where's CLG going to go here for the second stage of this draft? They have one of their supports. They have two heroes that can farm, but no real lockdown to deal with the Invoker, no lockdown to deal with the Lone Druid.
And they might not even pick mini lockdowns. CLG really known as a team that loves support hero like Venomancer, and Mirakel plays it very decently, so they might just pick that one up and hopefully pick, whatever their last solo-ish kind of hero for that. But for now, they are going to ban out Nightstalker. I love this respect ban. I had a little side bet in my mind. How long will it take for any one of us to take up the term tower diving when we're casting M5, because this is what the team does, right? They do it in their dreams. They do it when they're sleeping. They do it when they're drinking vodka. They just tower dive all day, all night long. And when you have explosive players like vigoss, you're going to be tower diving quite a bit.
This isn't really the best tower diving lineup right now, so we'll have to see if they want to go that direction. I'm with you. That's how M5 normally likes to play, but really, do they have the horses to do it? In the mid to late game, sure. Lone Druid, once he gets a little bit tanky, once that bear gets some items and levels, definitely a player and a hero that can be very aggressive. But in the early stages of this game, whenever we cast M5, it's one of these things where you'll see them diving towers at 3 minutes. I mean, forget about the 10, 15-minute mark. Forget about even when Navi does it, which is around like the 5, 6-minute mark. They'll be doing it from the word go, but these heroes don't really fit that style. So it's already, this is not an unusual draft compared to how other teams play, but M5, I gotta say, a little bit of a different take. So I'm curious to see where they're gonna go from here. Maybe something like a Chaos Knight would fit in well. They could throw Windrunner into a support role of some kind, or even maybe have Lone Druid doing some jungling. I don't think we'll see that, but I would like to see them get something that fits their style, something that can be sort of that initiator, that aggressive hero to dive into the front of the fray.
I completely agree. Now, here's a hero that we haven't really talked about too much, and he was in the WE versus Mouseboard game. If you guys at home saw that yesterday, the Rubik, I mean, he was a huge factor in most of those games, and we don't see any team giving a nod by picking him early or just banning him. I feel like this is one of the heroes that you don't want to underestimate. He does so much. Now, particularly in this game, there's not too many spells that you could steal from either side, but there's some couple of decent ones, right? Vacuum, you can steal. If you steal the Wild Replica, that's huge. Any Morphling spells are great to steal, and of course, Chen spells are awesome as well. So I feel like Moscow 5 could add a lot to their team by picking up the Rubik. Brewmaster is going to be banned out right now. Immediately, CLG is going to be picking up a Sand King, and I do believe Lacoste plays a beautiful farming Sand King. When he's on, he's on. He really hits great epicenters.
You know, I'm curious how M5 is going to lay this, but I'm starting to think for CLG, we've seen them run the solo mid Morphling in the past. Normally pajkatt the one handling it. I would not be surprised at all if we see it there. Sandk would then have the safe lane to farm, get some sort of laning support, strong laning support for him, who can maybe even rotate towards mid. We'll see where they want to put the Morphling, but I think that option is open for them. We've seen in the past Morphling can actually dominate Invoker 101. I know it sounds a little crazy, especially maybe to some of the pub players out there, but he's got a great ability to push the wave and collect the runes. He also does a lot of damage if he morphs towards agility. It's definitely a matchup that Morphling can do well in, if not win. Here you go for M5. They get their hands on a Venomancer, another strong laning hero, and CLG opt for a Queen of Pain. That's going to throw Sandcane and probably into more of a support role. And I guess this is going to be Queen of Pain mid, Morphling going to be farming that safe lane, Sandcane probably supporting him, Darkseer in the off lane, and Chen in the jungle. Maybe CLG could try something different, but that would be the most likely way they're going to lane it. For M5, what do they want to do with this last pick?
I really have no clue, but one of the big gaping hole in this lineup right now is they don't have too many reliable stuns. Shackle Shot is a stun, Lone Druid High Five Entangle is another stun, but again, you don't count on those missing. Invoker gives you some of them, but again, you don't have enough to lock down the Morphling, so maybe their goal is to kill everybody else and then deal with the Morphling. But like you said earlier, how do you kill everybody on this team? Look at the CLG lineup. Everybody has a spell to either save themselves or save their teammates. That's absolutely insane as a lineup. I mean, it's one hero is already hard to deal with. You have to deal with 5, and it's basically cat versus mouse, and Tom and Jerry. And I think the mouse here is cat CLG.
I like what M5 do with this last pick. It might not be their style to pick something like Earthshaker, but it fits in beautifully with their lineup. Great defensive hero to punish the aggression of naturally aggressive heroes like the Morphling, the Queen of Pain. If CLG dive too far, they're going to be in a lot of trouble, because it's not just the Earthshaker. It's Venomancer with his Gale. If you hit multiple heroes, I mean, you've called it basically as good as a Fissure as a defensive ability, if you can land it. A little bit harder to land, but very potent there. So I like this final pick for M5. Let's go ahead and introduce the players for both teams. For M5, we have Blood Angel handling that Lone Druid, PGG going to be on the Earthshaker, Silent on the Venomancer, vigoss handling his signature Windrunner, and last but not least, it will be Admir playing the Invoker. And this guy loves to rush his hand to Midas, so don't be surprised at all if that's the direction he goes on his Invoker.
Oh yeah, Admir's Invoker Midas build. I mean, it's not too bad. A lot of people kind of make fun of it because, you know, why does he actually need to go bonus? But it's an EXP bonus, a 2.5 times EXP when you kill a creep. That's absolutely insane for an EXP dependent hero like Invoker. But for now, back to the CLG side, Lacoste is going to be playing the Darkseer instead of the Sand King, like I predicted. Misery on that Queen of Pain. We have Akke playing the Chen, very, very strong support player. Mirakel, another strong support duo, going to be on the Sand King. And last but not least, pajkatt one of the most dangerous farming hero in the game, Morphling.
Both teams scout each other out. Are they really going to make a go? Oh, Gale is going to hit on Miracle. Has Burrow Strike already picked up, so he cannot go with Biz. Burrow Strike away, sent back to base. Should be okay. Everyone from CLG will escape, but that was a moment of danger for them. They dodge the bullet. They get out alive. M5, 5 heroes bottom. Now, the nice thing about this for both teams is they get the opportunity for M5 to place down some wards. And for CLG, they might have an idea of which way the lanes are going to go as M5 starts to disperse. So we'll see who's actually going to stay down bottom for M5.
Well, Lone Druid is definitely a candidate. It seems like he's not going anywhere else, and it always makes me feel a little bit dangerous. No, everybody's still on the bot lane. Akke trapped between trees and 4 Dire Hero. Nice denial from Misery. No first blood from the International just yet, because things about like Holy Persuasion, deny against poison. Wow, saving the first blood there was absolutely huge. You might have gave some EXP, but that was about 800 gold swing. That's absolutely huge.
Well, it will be an 800 gold swing if they get the first blood, but it's 400 gold or so saved from being given away towards the enemy team. And we're also not losing any of that reserve gold, so great defensive play there. But you see the power of this M5 tri-lane. A nice fissure block can do wonders. They're not going to kill off the Morphling. They're probably not even going to kill Sand King. And that's something to be concerned about a little bit if you're M5. Who are you actually going to kill with this tri-lane? Even if you get a nice fissure block, you can Burrow Strike over that fissure. The Chen is going to be the primary target, but look at Akke, tucked away safely in his jungle. If he wants to do so, he could even head top. He could, look to gank mid, and it's a lone druid mid. Pretty gankable hero before he hits 6, so as long as Akke doesn't get too bold towards the bottom lane, I think it'll be okay. And Luby, I know you're a big fan of aggressive and intelligent warding. Look at what CLG has done. Immediately dewarding that pole camp. Great vision if the tri-lane tries to rotate. I don't see how this tri-lane is going to get anything accomplished.
Well, I mean, if you don't get the kill against Morphling, that's completely expected. He has one of the best early escape mechanisms. He has 2. He has Strength Morph as well as Waveform. But sometimes to win the tri-lane, you don't need to get kills. Make sure you deny every single one of the creeps against the Morphling. I know that's hard against pajkatt, but, try your best, and that's one of the avenues to win the lane. Just basically deny and out-harass and out-farm the Morphling. It's a very passive level of play. It's not what M5 does best. But hey, that's another avenue for victory here for M5.
Definitely. Let's take a quick look at our other lanes. It's Blood Angel mid playing that Lone Druid up against Misery. Now, this is a lane where Lone Druid should have the edge in terms of last hitting. Misery should be able to do a decent job of controlling the runes if he gets there in a timely fashion. But you can always send the bear to try and steal the runes. So that's something that we'll have to see. How good is Blood Angel going to be with his micro? How interested will he be in shutting down Misery's rune control? Also keep in mind with the tri-lane bottom, they can easily send the Earthshaker or the Venomancer to try and collect those. So for both teams, I think the runes will be very important. Not so much right now, but once Queen of Pain starts to hit between level 5 and 7, it's going to be real crucial for M5, even if they're not securing the runes for themselves, to make sure they have good vision and they're not getting caught out of position. And the final lane we haven't looked at yet, it's Lacoste on the top lane. Darkseer in the off lane, up against Invoker. Both heroes should get their farm here, but neither one is really going to be able to shut the other down.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the farm right now. I know we're only 2.5 minutes in the game, but CLG is leading by the farm quite a bit. I mean, we expected Lone Druid is going to have a slight edge, but Queen of Pain right now controlling the last set on the mid lane very decently. Of course, Iron Shout harass on the top. It's starting to take a toll against Arzar, or... I'm already forgetting the names of the players. Against our Invoker player on the top lane. Amir, there you go. My apologies. And pajkatt, I mean, against the tri-lane, he's got 7 CS and even 4 denies. Those 4 denies against 3 hero, that's absolutely key. So, I mean, I feel like CLG is doing great in this
Is M5 getting enough? I'm not. They're getting good farm on the low
mid lane here. Burrow Strike is going to connect, and now Blood Angel in big trouble. Teleportation comes in, but that's the real first blood coming in. Miracle is going to run out alive. Blood lane, or Misery gets the first blood on the mid lane, and you do not want a hero like Queen of Pain getting first blood.
Well, Lumi, you talked about it's the potential for that 800 gold swing, and we do see it. In fact, CLG denied the first blood on that Chen. Akke got caught out earlier. He strikes back with a vengeance. Akke, one of the premier junglers in all of Europe. He's actually a bit behind in levels, only level 2 so far. But securing that first blood for his team, that's going to give Miracle a good start. That's going to set Chen up to be, or the mid lane, rather, for Misery to be a little bit more aggressive. And if CLG get these early kills, they get the early items and levels up, it's going to be hard for M5 to find openings later on. So for M5, I'm not sure they're getting enough right now. This tri-lane has not gotten kills. The Windrunner's farming well, but it's not completely shutting down pajkatt by any means. He's getting some levels, he's getting some farm. So for M5, I think they're doing okay. They're not in a horrible spot, but they definitely need to be a little bit more cautious and just have a bit better map awareness so they don't get caught out.
On the top lane here, Lacoste taking some cold snap harass. He'll be fine, but losing quite a bit of HP. Second ring of regeneration already picked up. Of course, the first one within that soul ring. Second one most likely will be made into a mech or a pipe, depending what fancies him just for now. But right now, Amir, I'm not seeing that glove of haste just yet, although it's coming soon. It's coming soon.
Well, you really want to phase boots versus Dark seriously, and Iron Shell's not chasing you down. Oh, he got trapped inside the creeps. He's not using his phase boots. Finally, he uses them. Admir taking all kinds of damage. Maybe he bound the wrong hotkey. Maybe he just forgot which button to press. He lost about 2/3 of his health there for nothing, really. The phase boots were not on cooldown unless that's some sort of visual glitch. Never seen that one before. He does live. He has Quas to heal him up. In the end, it turns out okay, but that was a moment of danger because your safe lane Invoker cannot afford to die 1v1 to this Dark Seer.
Oh, definitely. Iron Shell is a spell that will stack. Not many spells in the game, not many aura-based spells in the game do stack, and Iron Shell will stack, and boy, it took a huge chunk of Invoker's health down. But, you know, he phased out, and he was regenning now. He should be okay. But, again, my lane to watch out for this game, the X factor in this game, is how pajkatt farms. And I got bad news for M5 fans. He always farms well. I have never seen pajkatt actually farms poorly.
He's 11-6 versus a tri-lane, about 2 CS a minute, and he's not getting any kind of backup. Sure, Chen and Sandking have postured towards coming in that bottom lane, but it's not like they're providing much harassment. We saw a single shockwave from a Satyr Hellcaller. That's nice. That's not going to win the lane for you. That's not going to free pajkatt up to farm. He's only level 4, but he's still got about 2 CS a minute. And top lane, it's Invoker getting a solo kill on Darkseer. Big play from Admir. This is what M5 want. This is what they expect when they put Admir in that protected lane to dominate his lane, get kills, and Darkseer's been getting farmed, but with that kill, that's going to help Admir out a bit. And if he wants to go hand to Midas, well, he's got a little bit of money towards that.
Yeah, for the viewers at home that's not too familiar with watching competitive level Dota, getting a solo kill like that, basically without the help of your teammates, that's absolutely huge. The reason being so is the next time you come back in lane, you're down gold, you're down levels, and you're facing up against the same hero, just stronger now. So you're going to basically have a huge disadvantage whenever you give up those solo kills. And now you can see that Lacoste, well, he's not phased, he's a pro, but he's got to be somewhat careful now.
Yeah, Dota is a game where every time you get a kill, you get stronger, and your opponents, they sometimes even get weaker. So getting that kind of advantage can be absolutely huge. It looks like Blood Angel has actually rotated into the jungle here for a moment, perhaps worried about Mirakel, as well as Akke missing off the map. If you notice right now, there are no wards, and this is the downside of running a lone druid, not in a sort of a 1v1 up top, is he's not the most survivable hero. He could get his ultimate and try, he's pretty tanky, but still a nice dive can easily kill him off, especially with Queen of Pain already being 6, getting very close to 7, so they need to put down more wards. They have not done so yet, and that's the downside of running this tri-lane, is it doesn't really free up your supports to go and place those wards. If you do, that's where CLG and Akke's squad look to strike with an aggressive gag into the lane.
Right, I feel like both tri-lane are kind of just gauging what each other is doing. I think M5 is waiting for the CLG push to come, and CLG says, yeah, we don't need a push. We could just jungle all day long. Akke getting close to that level 6. And CLG on the same side, they're waiting M5 for their dive, right? M5 is famous for their dives, and that's why you pick very defensive hero like Sandking, like Chen, like Morphling, and put them on the bot lane, but there's no dive happening so far. So just a really passive game. And I think the passive game is slowly to start favoring CLG, because pajkatt 15 CS in 7 minutes, that's only 2 per minute. That's very, very low amount of farm. Now vigoss doesn't have too much, but I mean, it's a little bit better. That's like 3 or 4 per minute. That's not too bad.
In terms of overall gold as well as experience, it is favoring the Radiant. You factor that first blood, or rather you take it out of the equation, and it's pretty much even.
Right.
But of course, you can't really take it out. So CLG is hanging tough here, staying even. You talked about Misery as an X factor. I would also say don't underestimate Akke's Chen. If he can get level 6, just having that heal can easily turn a fight around. As we look at M5, they're lacking in terms of burst damage. They have Power Shot. That's some good burst damage, but this is a Windrunner who's only level 4. It's a Wex Invoker, so there's no Sunstrike, there's no big, sudden burst of damage. It's sort of slow, sustained damage. But in a slow, sustained fight, that's where teams with more mobility, teams with more survivability, which you've been emphasizing for CLG, that's where that can really kick into the next gear. So, although pajkatt's not getting farmed, I really do feel that the rest of the squad, the Darkseer and the Queen of Pain, with Chen backing them up, maybe with Sandking coming in with a couple nice burrow strikes, can turn things around. And in those longer engagements, the longer the game goes, I do feel CLG will have the edge. But we've seen it before, a farmed enough lone druid cannot be defeated, or sometimes even Morphling's not enough with max inventory. So it's not like M5 are in a bad spot here, but I'm going to give CLG a slight edge.
Well, And the go chart definitely does show that. On the mid lane here, Misery being very aggressive. PGG already in position to really harass this one. But on the top lane, we're not seeing Arm and Midas. We are seeing double Sage's Mask. And that means it's going to be an Orchid build. Something that we haven't seen quite a bit from Invoker, but I personally love it. Just look at the enemies you're up against, right? Already we talked about the survivability, but suddenly if you take away the blink ability from Misery, she's basically a free-to-kill hero.
Oh, yeah. Just want to point out, great play by Akke here. Just finished farming that medium camp directly above the pole camp. It's right around the Rosie up top, though. Admir and Lacoste juking left, right, and center. Now Admir finds Lacoste. He's got the set. Actually, not going to look for killer. Maybe he is. Cold Snap is going to chase a little bit. Tornado gets thrown out. That's going to slow down the surge. Might actually be able to get this kill, but it's a long way to dive on Lacoste. He is going to back off in the end. But really being aggressive here, trying his best to bully Darkseer on the lane. The problem is that Darkseer's got a Soul Ring and Tranquil Boots. So if you don't kill him, he's just never leaving. He's that nuisance, that pest that just will not leave. Bottom lane, it's Mirakel waiting in the wings in the secret shop, maybe looking to set up a kill.
Everybody on both teams already have boots of speed, and Shaco Shot not going to latch, and it looks like Vigoss in big trouble. Burrow Strike's going to hit, and here we go, waveform, nice fissure block, but Chen not going to be able to get in this wall. A teleport scroll being drawn here, and it looks like Invoker in position. Tornado is going to miss, and that's going to be the end of the engagement, but forcing teleport scroll, that's absolutely huge. And now on the top lane, you can see the Lacoste immediately on the creeps. He wants to pressure this tower, he wants to push this tower, and he draws yet another teleport scroll. That's 270 gold of economic damage being done by doing absolutely nothing on CLG side. I think they're happy with that.
Mid-lane, Misery is an absolutely deep in enemy territory. Wanted to kill off that bear, forces Blood Angel to resummon it. We haven't looked too much at item progression. I think it's a good time to do it now since the game has taken it's been pretty passive. We've seen some sort of feinting and maneuvering for positioning, not too many kills. Blood Angel, 900 gold in the bank. I would expect him to have a big advantage 1v1 versus Misery with the bear and the hero, especially in the earlier levels. But he's getting out farmed quite significantly. You put Lone Druid mid in a 1v1 to dominate the farm, to dominate the lane. Because guess what? Unlike a Queen of Pain, he can't leave the lane and set up ganks for the team. He can't put extreme pressure on other areas of the map. So Blood Angel not really having the best time here mid. Admir, though, having a great time up top. Vigoss farming pretty well. So overall, M5 are getting a bit of an edge here in terms of farm, but it's being made up for in terms of kills on the part of CLG. Is CLG okay with this? We talked about pajkatt not getting farmed. He's only level 5 10 minutes in. It's really feeling like he's, at some point, normally if your hero's not getting a good start in that lane, you rotate heroes in, you put him somewhere else, pressure applied elsewhere on the map, and then he catches up. That's what we always see from pajkatt. But when is he going to start catching up?
Well, it might start with CLG Skank on the top lane, and that would draw a couple heroes on top, and that will give his free farm. Here we go, Surge on Miracle, Burrow Strike, Iron Shell on top, Vacuum, Stun, no, missing on the stun, CLG combo not raining, and now we do have Silent teleporting in, his scale very dangerous to Miracle. He wants a little bit more, Burrow Strike, Surge, he does now go on Silent this time, and now a lot of damage being done. He is going to survive. Power shot on Miracle, Miracle eats a cold snap, they're going to dive, M5 counter ganking like a boss this game. Akke now on the run, fissure from afar, PGG connecting. Wow, M5 known for tower diving, but this time they are counter ganking. Who are they and what have they done with my M5 team?
The heroes are definitely something a little bit different from M5. I got to question CLG going back in for a second round. It's one thing to set up that gank, but when it doesn't work out, you have to know that they're going to come back. Middle lane, though, it's Blood Angel. Eats a scream. Misery maybe could have killed him off there with the ultimate, but not going to an entangle, going the other way. One more would spell doom for Misery, but no entangle there for the second time. He will escape. A lot of heroes really not getting much farm or levels in this game. It's actually, pro teams have gotten so good recently as of late, the past couple months, at finding farm for everyone. I mean, we talk about the Asian teams doing it, but even the European teams have gotten really efficient, and we're not seeing it this game. It's an Earthshaker walking around with boots and 500 gold, really not too much on him. Invoker farming well. We have a Venomance with absolutely nothing, only level 5. Even Vigoss is only 7, and he was farming in the tri-lane. Low Druid doesn't have too many items. I mean, I'm looking at M5, and I know it's true for CLG as well. The Morphling only has Treads. The Sand King's only level 4. A lot of heroes are behind, but it's kind of even because both teams are behind.
Yep. Oh, Fissure's gonna hit. Nice block here against Miracle, but he could get out if he wants to do so, and he does. Burrow striking across the crevice. Vigoss, he sees it, and he's gonna back off. Again, Vigoss normally in a normal day, he would just die past 3 towers to get that kill, but probably not in this big stage where there's a lot of money on the line. We are in the first match of the group stage for any viewers that just joined us, and right now M5 getting a slight edge in both farm and both kills as well. We saw a beautiful first blood deny and opening minutes of the game, but for now, CLG down and behind.
Yeah, imagine if CLG didn't have that first blood. Things would be looking pretty bad for them. The fact that they got it is what, largely what's keeping them pretty close in terms of the gold and experience growth. I hear cold snap going. It looks like that was just on a Chen creep. Louis, how often do we cast a game with M5 where there's 5 kills in 13 minutes? Whether they're winning or losing, there's normally about 20 at this point. So, they're playing a lot more solid, a lot more stable here. Maybe not as flashy, but overall, they're controlling the lanes, and the big thing for us to keep an eye on right now is that Invoker. Admir is level 10. Let's actually look. How many arcane boots do the Radiant have? They have 0, so that EMP is going to murder them. Everybody on this team needs their mana. Meanwhile, top lane, it's silent, wrap you around towards the cause. Gale won't do too much, but an entangle would be absolutely huge. He doesn't see Blood Angel. Will we have an entangle? The body block for the bear. Ooh. Oh, the entangle! What a play by Blood Angel. One more should do the trick. Look how tanky Lacoste is, though. Will this be enough? The TP comes in. Need one more entangle. He gets one more. It's still not enough. Miracle's TP is forced. They will back off. The bear dropping low. That body block. Burrow strike in onto silent. Are they really giving chase? No, they are going to back off. Gale going the other way. Back and forth here. We're playing ping pong, not Dota. I'm confused, but the bear's still giving chase. Once Miracle, one more surge. The fissure. Is this fight going to end with at least a kill or two? It is not.
On the bot lane here, a tornado being cast on the Morphling. pajkatt, he sees it, but he's not going to wait for him for the kill. Still on cooldown. I mean, that's a power of CLG. They were being doved upon. Look at how many entangle that was hit. 2 or 3 heroes chasing the Darkseer, but Hand of God came in, Surge came in, and Surge was giving them the chance, the option to actually go back on the offensive. Also another Surge to save the Sand King much later on. This team is so versatile, but the versatility comes in a price, and right now they don't have the farm. And right now when the Bulldozer, that is known as the Syllabir, comes on your tower, what do you do? I mean, right now, you talked about earlier, Syllabir doesn't even have any farm, but he's still already being very effective.
It's also, let's be clear about it. Lone Shard is not a hero that needs that many items to be effective, and he needs one big damage item normally. That's pretty much it. Beyond that, it's all gravy. He needs farm, yes, but not as much as a hero like a Morphling or an Anti-Mage. And, well, he's ahead of that Morphling right now. If we look at net worth, he's ahead by about 300 gold. The key thing here is the Morphling's not ahead. Even if they're even, that's fine for the Lone Druid. He just doesn't want to be behind by a significant margin. M5 smoke up, they head towards top, but PGG has no mana. I'm really not sure about this. Even with the fissure. Meanwhile, bottom lane is a big dive. They won Admir. Diving the tower, the quad bolt hits the waveform, and pajkatt gets the kill. And that is something he desperately needed. In spite of not having...
top lane, fissure, worth it from PGG. He's looking for the angle. He's not going to find the angle. And that's what you call a fissure from the enemy side, because that thing actually didn't help. Oh, vacuum on the high ground. Oh, snazzy play from Lacoste. If he did it correctly, it looks like the Shaker would have been trapped on the top lane. Or in the top crevice, but, unfortunately. But meanwhile, though, real action happening on the bot lane. Akke and his team destroys the tower, and they're looking for tier 2.
pajkatt is catching up, man. He's level 9, vigoss is level 11, and vigoss is the strongest hero on the map right now. pajkatt was way behind. I want to say, 3-4 minutes ago, he's level 5. He's gotten 4 levels in the space of that time, and with that tier 1 being knocked down bottom, you and I talk about this a lot. It's not only about killing the tower to deny your opponent access to it, it also frees up the lane for you as well. So now it's pretty safe for pajkatt to farm all through this area, whereas normally he might be restricted to something more like this segment of the lane. So it frees up the lane for him a little bit. Now he's going to have more room to farm. The Sand King can also be pulling there constantly. Miracle is very far behind, though. This might be a concern for CLG. They've got to get the Sand King some farm and levels. Only sitting on basic boots, 900 gold, and crucially, level 5 at 16 minutes in.
Yeah, what CLG is really good for usually in terms of the playstyle is putting pressure all over the map. If we push a tier 2 tower on the mid lane, you start trying to defend that one, and we'll push a tier 2 tower on the bot. Basically, CLG says, pick your poison. Wherever we defend, we'll just take another tower elsewhere on the map. And CLG slowly accrued a lot of gold advantage, but in this game, they actually haven't done any of that. They tried gank, but M5 is so defensive, they couldn't get anything going. And because of that, normally, Sand King, support Sand Kings like this, would get his arcane boot through tower gold. They're getting nothing at this point. Bottom lane here, we do have a lot of spells being dropped on pajkatt. He's not going to die here, but that's not the point, I think, from M5. They just want to pressure Morphling. We are 17 minutes in the game, and pajkatt has about 50 CS on Morphling. That's not going to cut it.
Yeah, the first 2 big items that these teams are looking towards... Oh, it's actually top lane, though. Lone Druid securing a kill on the Sand King. Didn't catch that one. Hopefully you did. Probably an entangle or a shackle shot there and a power shot to follow it up. Getting that kill will allow them to push this tower. Meanwhile, middle lane, CLG trying to apply that counter pressure. It's a game where both teams are sort of trying... It's like a pendulum, and they're both trying to push it back towards the other team's side. Force them to defend so their team can farm safely. Constantly momentum swinging back and forth. You don't have to have kills to have momentum shifts, and we're seeing that this game. The big item for me that M5 is very close to right now, to go back to what I was saying previously, is going to be this Orc and Malevolence. You talked about how strong it can be against these heroes. That's where they can really start to get kills with that Silent Stick. EMP dropping on the tower. pajkatt, all his mana burned. Gale, Cold Snap, morphing to strength. He should have enough with the wand usage there. Tornado hits on 2. Beautiful tornado by Admir. The net, though, the blink in for Misery. Admir has overextended. He will go down to the Shockwave. And now a nice 2-hero backing by Lacoste. Misery has the ultimate, has no mana to use it, doesn't need it, blinks it, and a scream. M5 getting caught out of position, and no trade-off for them anywhere on the map. No tower being knocked down mid, no tower being knocked down top. Really, not even too much pressure. M5 overextends, and CLG punished them in spades.
Yeah, they needed just one overextension. Good job here by pajkatt, saving the magic wand charges. The Invoker player saw, man, no mana on Morphling, time to go, and one of the most dangerous combo, Venom Scale plus Cold Snap was dropped on the Morph, but smart uses of the magic wand, and that's why it's one of the best items in the game. He popped it, and suddenly the gang turned the other way as we saw multiple people teleporting in. Vigoss, a player on the Windrunner, what he's really known for is his hero movement throughout the map, but so far he's farming quite a bit, and if you just look at his item, he's got a 4-stat finish.
Yeah, speaking of hero movement, how apropos, right as you say that, he picks up the 4-staff. I love it. And that's going to help him out. The big thing for me with that gank, it wasn't just the kills. It's also delayed Admir's Orchid, although as I say that, he magically finds the gold. Did he sell something to pick this up? I want to say he did, or maybe the recipe was on the courier and I just missed it. Either way, he's got the Orchid now. When you go for an item like this is not really a great late game item. It's a decent one. It's by no means bad. Gives you some utility. But if you want to go for more of a late game item, you go for something like a Scythe of Vice. You maybe even look towards an Aghanim. We'll have to see what he does with it. But for me, the next 5-10 minutes are crucial. Can he make kills happen? Can he set things up for his team here? Top lane Misery. Trying to get the tower. Not going to be denied by Blood Angel. Great job there with the DD. Fish are going to miss narrowly into the fog. Even if he had caught him, I don't think they get the kill there. Great solo individual play by CLG. Misery in particular has not died 2-0-2 despite those multiple entangles top, and he is putting pressure all over the map. And we talked about it. This frees up pajkatt. He's got some room to farm on bottom, and Admir is a long way from home. Could be in a bit of danger here as 4 heroes start to converge.
Chen creeps are going to be the first one in, and now Amir in a little bit of trouble. All they need is a vacuum to start it up. Where's the vacuum? There's a vacuum. The slow is going to follow. Do they have detection? There's the dust, and now no invisibility. Oh no, that's a pajkatt getting the kill. Well, I wouldn't call it too easy because it was a 5-for-1 gang. CLG definitely put a lot of resource in that kill. Boy, they needed that kill, and they got it.
Let me rephrase. Perfectly executed.
Yes, definitely.
That's what I meant to say there. I'm shocked that M5 have not gotten a trade-off. The one thing that sure, the Invoker dies deep near the enemy tower, but 4 heroes devoted with the lone Druid free farming all the way across the map. You expect something to happen. Big blink in, middle lane. Misery has the ult, assassinating PGG. One more right click, the back it, and now they go into Vigoss. 4-staff pulling down. Wand is available. Great shackle holding Lacoste in place. Another blink. Vigoss fogs Misery. 2 ships past the end of the night. What a narrow escape there. Misery blinked like 1 millimeter too far. Doesn't spot him. He gets away. Close call there, but all over the board, it's Misery applying pressure with this Queen of Pain. Middle tower, he gets another one. Yes. Admir failing to deny that. That is 2 towers last hit by Misery in the face of enemy heroes.
That's 2 towers and a first blood that he got early on. Look at his gold. Look at his item. He's on the Gwinsu path. Gonna get it in just about 500-600 gold. That's absolutely insane. We're gonna see a 23-minute hex stick on Queen of Pain, and boy, that is one of the best items you could ever have such early stages in the game. Also, earlier in that engagement when Sanking ate the Fissure, ate the Epicenter, a whole bunch of Echo Slam, sorry, from the Earthshaker. That's the power of Chen. We talked about the survivability on all of these players. And again, they don't even need to be together, and they could still stay alive. And when they do stay alive, man, the chase goes the other way with heroes like Queen of Pain. Looks in mid lane here, deny here, attempted, and he's got it. Wow, CLG. They might be not getting the laning advantage, but definitely they're getting the tower advantage.
And this is M5's game right now. It's not a massive lead. It's definitely something M5 can recover from, but 2 towers last hit by Misery. You talked about the Scythe of Vice being up. Chen's finally getting his core levels and items. Akke now level 9, has that full creep army, has a maxed out Test of Faith for the big burst damage, as well as having the mechanism. Top lane, it's Blood Angel, 1200 gold, has the relic on the bear, does not want to die now. This is an awful time to die, but he will go down. pajkatt even picks it up. A Radiance denied, an Ethereal Blade secured, and meanwhile PDG caught in between multiple enemy heroes. The Epicenter gets canceled. No, actually it was not used there. Earthshaker will take a fall. Miracle thought he channeled that one. He did not. CLG It just feels like everything they're trying to accomplish is working perfectly, and nothing M5 wants to do is going their way right now.
I love how this game has been going. M5 was getting the slow advantage, but right now CLG is showing beautiful hero movement. They're showing beautiful counter ganking, and they're not letting up on wards. They have only one ward up so far, but right now you could bet akke. After getting those kills, he's going to be dropping more wards. Dire, on the other hand, they're keeping up wards on as well, but they're losing hero engagement on the top lane here. Again, good luck killing Lacoste when he has Chen backup. This is such an annoying team for M5 to deal against.
You know, and it's one of these things where it goes even past how hard it is to kill the heroes. Look how much investment M5 was put towards killing them. Wards placed near the middle river, near where that tier 1 was. Sentry ward down towards the bottom rune. Wards in the enemy jungle. Sentry wards in the lane. They want to be aggressive. It's just their hero composition, maybe not the best suited for it. And more importantly, it comes down to CLG just choosing their spots very wisely. Misery has been spearheading it all. Sight Device now completed on him. Morphling Ethereal Blade completed. And the burst damage from CLG, absolutely insane. Even Lone Druid, even heroes that have some survivability in the form of Windrunners, force that they cannot stand against these items. M5, you know, you might think they have the worst late game team. They're up against a Morphling, a Queen of Pain, a Darkseer, but they cannot press anymore. They need to sit back, get up their core items, play defensively, and choose their spots wisely. Whether or not they could do it, that's another story, because it's just not how we're used to seeing M5 play. They have picked a different lineup, though, so they're going to have to make the adjustment.
Well, speaking of core items, Lone Druid is very, very close to his Radiance, just 200 gold throw away. We do have Invoker going for that black, I imagine it's going to be a blocking bar, although if it's going to be a Acceptor, that's not too bad either. In the jungle, you can see Silent is jungling it up in the Ancient Camp. I love this. Venomancer, one of the few support that could even pull this off, but he's got to tend to his tier 2 tower, and Queen of Pain as well as Morphling in position. I think this tower is as good as dead. Any solo hero try to defend this, it's basically going to get pigged up or hexed up, whatever you call that one. And you can see pajkatt is going to take this one for free. I think they have to give up the top tier 1 tower. Yes, he has gone down. But this trade, CLG would take that any day. Tier 1 for tier 2.
Oh yeah, it's not only a tier 2 for tier 1, it's also a tower that's much more important for Roshan positioning. Silent gets caught out, Misery finds him. No mana for the ultimate. EMP, Tornado flying out, Misery blinks away, immediate TP. Great reaction there, very calm and poised. He escapes. Even when Misery overextends, or what you might think is overextending, he knows when to press that eject button, get out of there. M5, again, it's just nothing is going their way, and you know, it also sort of goes towards the hero picks. They have some mobility with the Force Staff, the Wex Invoker, but they don't have a Sand King, who's going to have a Blink Dagger pretty soon, by the way. They don't have that really long-range, reliable initiation. Fissure can be good. It's not going to be as good as a Blink and stun from the Sand King. Vacuum in on the middle lane. Vigoss, the slow, the Tornado is going to hit EMP as well. Sight Device, Admir turned into a sheep. Will he be able to escape? Doesn't look like it. Continues to run. He will survive. But it's not even about the kills. It's about the pressure. CLG all over the map, exerting their influence, applying that dominant pressure towards M5.
And I want you to take your eyes onto that Morphling right now. He had no farm. He had no farm 20 minutes in the game. Somehow has now found himself a shotgun. The first shots of TI2 has been fired. Unfortunately, it's on the Invoker. Man, that's a bloody murder right there.
I love it, man. I love it. Pretty aggressive play, and they could do this all day now with Chet in the back lines to keep everyone alive between the Holy Persuasion, as well as the Mechanism and that Hand of God. They can play so aggressively, so balls to the wall, and the chances of M5 finding kills are very limited, and that's why we see CLG 4 heroes grouped up. They're going to be pressuring that middle lane. Actually, they had 5 Morphling just replicated out bottom. The Lone Druid trying for the trade. Oh no, another big item claim. This one by Miracle. It's a Blink Dagger for him. Level 9, he's catching up, he still needs level 11, but even that level 1 Epicenter is going to do some good work for them. Earthshaker pretty squishy. Venomancer, Silent actually has some farm thanks to those Ancients, but even that, it might not get them the kills, but they have plenty of follow-up, plenty of ways to finish those kills with the Queen of Pain and the Morphling.
Well, they gotta survive this mid-game. I think at this point, the only path for victory here for M5 is go for the massive late game. Get a couple of Hex Sticks up here, one on your Windrunner, one on your Invoker, and of course, that Lone Druid need a couple more items, but a big smoke gank here. The Venomancer not in the smoke, he's just farming it just by himself, and now the rest of the team perhaps looking for Roshan. Both teams is ready to go. Chen Creeps being sent into the Roche Pit to check things out, but for now, this is what we call the dire advantage when it comes down to Roshan. One team has, you know, a very, very easy to defend path. The other team just charges down the same ramp, and the only ramp that you're available to charge down to. And now, here we go. M5 trying to force this Roshan, and I think they might even get.
It's dropping fast. CLG don't have much time to react. Are they going to give it away for free? Lacoste thinking about going in Misery Blink's way. No, they are going to give it away. And this is a huge pickup for M5. It's CLG who are really controlling the map, but to be honest, I think if they knew about this Roshan, if they were grouped up as 5, they could look to take a fight there with Darkseer being such a good hero to have around the pit. Set up your Sand King, your Queen of Pain as well, and Morphling to clean everything up. I really think CLG could have taken that fight, but they play it safe. They choose not to. Either they didn't know about it, or they just weren't willing to take the risk. And it makes sense, because if you lose a fight there, M5 gets an Aegis, they get a bunch of gold going their way, and then Lone Druid is close to his next item. So I don't mind the decision by CLG not to engage, but it is going to give M5 a bit of an opening here.
It really will. I mean, Aegis of Immortal on many heroes is great, but on Lone Druid it's probably the best hero to have, and you're definitely going to see this throughout the International of this year, is that when the hero dies, the bear will still be alive, and he will be smacking you with his insane damage output like the Radiance, Hyperstone, Assault Curious, whatever he has, and he is going to do the damage. What do you do then after the Lone Druid has already been killed? Do you kill the bear now? I mean, he's very tanky. So suddenly, even with the Lone Druid kill once, you are in a terrible position, because that bear is still right-clicking you.
Oh, vigoss caught out middle lane, turned into a chicken there, blink in the stun, and look at the initiation range of CLG. Blink, Hex, blink, stun. Kills are very easy for them to come by, and they're not done just yet. They want silent. Misery chasing him towards the base, forcing out a TP from Admir, who definitely wanted to be applying that split pressure top. He's forced back. CLG will back as well. Now they go into Blood Angel, who was in hero form. Unfortunately, that's an Aegis burn. He loses the bear, and he's dying twice here. I don't see him escaping. This is an absolute disaster. You pick up an Aegis, you think you're right back in it. Maybe not. Everybody blocking each other. No, there you go. Vacuum back in. They find the kill. A moment of tension there, but in the end, he escapes, or he doesn't escape. And meanwhile, middle lane, Venomancer picked off as well. CLG just finding kills left, right, and center.
Ooh, and I think this means they tier 2 dead on the top. The Misery being sent back for a little bit of mana purposes for now. And he's going to heal up, and it's going to teleport up top. Yeah, all these kills left, right, and center, like you mentioned, means a dead tier 2. And even when they've tried to defend this, I'm not too sure whether M5 can. Those kills really slow down their item growth.
And we're getting to a point in the game now where you have a Lone Druid. We've seen it so many times in the past. You love for that Lone Druid to be farming and pressuring one side of the map. The rest of the team playing 4-man Dota. It's usually what we call the 4-protect-1 strategy, where you have one hero applying pressure, 4 other heroes sort of walking around the map trying to set things up. Middle lane, vigoss turned into a chicken again, and the slow to follow. Is Misery really going for the solo kill here? There's a shackle, not gonna latch. Tornado, or EMP only, no tornado there. He actually already used his Ghost Walk invoke there, expecting to have to run for his life. This pressure on the middle lane, well, guess what? That tier 2 top, most likely going to be claimed. BKB up on pajkatt. I don't know how they deal with this. It's pretty much entangled. That's the only way. Shotgun towards vigoss. Not a full agility morph from the looks of things. Not going to find the kill. Vacuumed onto the high ground is PGG. What a play from this Darkseer. He didn't get it the first time. He does this time around. Surge, as well as Iron Shell and a Miracle burst strike on the high ground. They want PGG. They will find him. Now in a sandstorm, trying to hide, trying to survive. And Blood Angel caught out a bit of away from his base. Shackle on 2. Vacuum into the wall. Everybody running defensive Ice Wall get dropped. They should escape. Blood Angel really trying to fight under this. I'm not sure about that. Even thinking about going back in. Looks like he will back off in the end. They get the tier 2. They don't lose anyone. And they kill an Earthshaker. CLG have to be happy with that.
CLG a little bit sloppy in most of the plays. pajkatt popped the BKB but had to back off because of the great fissure being dropped by PGG. Epicenter was channeled up on that cliff, but unfortunately one of the Serpent Wards canceled the Blink Dagger. It was all the correct idea by CLG, but regardless, with their item advantage, with their hero level advantage, they are just going to take that tower as well as a couple of kills as they roll home. I think CLG, despite giving the free Aegis, and literally it was a free Aegis, to the Dire, I think they're in a very comfortable position in the first game of the group stage of International 2012.
Oh man, it's so exciting to be casting this game. We're not even at the event, and I was already like bursting out of my skin with excitement heading into this match. You know, go back to the point I was trying to make before that action broke out. I just don't see how Lone Druid can farm on his own. There's too many ways to kill him off to initiate. He can push maybe to the river, but we're not going to see the kind of aggressive pushing that you want, that you expect when you pick this hero. If you're not going to death ball mid around 20-30 minutes and try and get a bunch of towers, go for racks, then that's normally the role that Lone Druid falls into, is the split push. But he just can't do it now. Morphling can do a great chunk of damage to him. Sand King can lock him in place. Queen of Pain can clean him up, and Darkseer can chase him down as well. There's too much mobility on CLG for that split push to work. But really, where do you go if you don't have it? You're going to get a farm. You're going to lose map control. And CLG definitely have the edge. But for the moment, they're content to play it safe, slow roll this one. They're not trying to force anything.
Yep, I mean, M5, the option is limited. I think they only could do right now is farm their jungle and hopefully pray that CLG is making a mistake. I mean, as great as CLG is playing so far, they are human. At the end of the day, they are not Dota robots, although they seem like it sometimes. You know, they can make a mistake, and you gotta just pray for it sometimes in a game like this where they're down in levels. Look at the EXP difference. I know we're, 30 minutes in the game, and engagement happening on the top lane. Shotgun connecting here. Our Invoker, is he gonna die to the poison? Yes, he will. Fissure being dropped defensively, but Misery says, I'm gonna go right in. BKB gets used, blocks, and now PGG goes down. And I do believe this is such a big opening on the top lane still. Misery not giving up on the chase. Finally, he will, but now he sees Silence. Silence going to get picked off as well. This has to be a Rax attempt here for CLG.
I just look at the range of CLG. That fight started all the way back here, and within 10 seconds or less, they're catching down here. Venomancer was about here when the action broke out. He starts hoofing it back to base. It doesn't matter. They track him down. They pick him off. That's the mobility. That's the chasing power of this lineup. Mirakel on the bottom lane in a bit of a pickle. Can't use his Blink Dagger. Needs the burst strike out soon. Slowly being burnt to death. This would be a very cheeky kill if he can pull it off. The Radiance burn is not stopping. Miracle is going to burst strike out the other way. Low Druid, Blood Angel expecting to come down south. Not going to find him. Is going to back off. Here we go. The bear scythed up. Locked down. Probably will take a fall. Maybe not. Could be returned. But maybe return in the wrong direction. Is he really going to chase for this? Return that bear. He can't because the Shadow Strike damage. No, it's going to live. And that's important, having that second bear. M5 definitely cannot afford to have only one bear. They don't go for Rex, though. Very surprising. CLG still playing it safe.
Yeah, I thought that was, with 3 heroes dead, they could have went up the Rax. But instead, they're going to go for a little bit more ganks, which is fair choice. I mean, they're up against a hill. That was such a short death timer. Since we're pretty early in the game, he could have actually respawned or bought back. CLG just playing it absolutely safe. Even having the advantage, not going to go press for it. Which CLG is generally very good for. Like, when they take it... Okay, when they have an inch, they take a mile, is what I've been trying to struggle to say out. CLG usually very good on that, but for now, playing very defensive.
Oh, yeah, totally, man. I'm with you. And, something we talked about early on, or at least I was mentioning, I know you talked about pajkatt's Morphly not getting much farm, and he's caught up since then, but it's not just him. It's Miracle who caught up. This was the Chen who was level 2 at almost 4 minutes in, and for Akke, he's almost always level 3+ at that point. He was a little bit slow as well, but the Sand King, the Chen, more than back in. This one mech picked up on Chen. Ghostbusters been up for a long time. He's had these core items up for a while, and he's now got 1,800 gold in the bank. Even the Sand King. It looks like he's probably going for BKB. Could maybe be an Aghanims. Either way, he's getting that next item soon. He's got the Ogre Club picked up. Remember, the Sand King was he was looking for level 6 at like 10 minutes in. This is the power of CLG. They might have some heroes who get shut down early, but they know how to apply pressure with the ones who don't to free up the map, to give those heroes who are behind an opportunity to catch up.
Misery blinks up on the top lane here. He pops a BKB, so ignores all Invoker's damage. There's already a Gwinsu being used. Sonic Wave on the Invoker as well. Blinking forward. Look at how aggressive Misery's playing. The Bear's just not getting no entangle luck. But here comes Morphling. He gotta help his... Oh my god, the Bear taking a shotgun for now. And now the fight goes the other way. Pajkatt down to half HP. Vigoss, the Shackle, it's gonna hit on 2. Power shot, that's gonna connect as well. Misery, is he gonna get entangled? Nice blink out. Vacuum backwards the wall. Just blocking off everything. Team 5 very awkward for both teams. And I do believe CLG, the team that initiated, had to pop both BKBs. And they got nothing. They got nothing.
I think Blood Angel might have peed in Ice Frog's breakfast because, man, he cannot buy its Entangle to save his life. At least not what he really wants for. He got a couple up top earlier, but this is a hero that if you get an Entangle, we talk about it all the time. It's something you can't count on, but you know it's going to happen. Or at least that's normally the case, but this game he's not finding it. Sand King is actually not going for a BKB or an Aghanims. He is going for Heaven's Tower.
Yes.
That's going to be fantastic against that Lone Druid Bear. Vigoss gets caught out in the middle lane. Once again, sheeped up. Burrow strike forward. Miracle so damn fast with this haste word. Where is Vigoss' escape path? I'm not seeing a shackle. But did that even latch? No, it was disjointed by the blink. Vigoss goes down. Wicked sick for Misery. It feels like a lot more than the number of kills he has. 709. And now on to Lacoste. Or Lacoste going on to Admir, I should say. Gale hits, but once again, Silent caught out. Should go down here. The vacuum is available. No mana for it. They don't need it. Silent will take a fall. If anybody dies on M5, everybody starts to fall. It's like dominoes, man. They're just getting knocked over one by one. And as though they didn't have enough items, it's a Shivas for Lacoste.
It just shows you, as we see the blink in here, no Invoker, Shotgun, no chance for him. Now PGG's the next one to fall. The right clicks are coming in. Misery has one more blink, is going to use it to secure the kill. Here comes the Bear. If he gets entangled, this is going to be a kill misery. Oh, caught in such an awkward position, but his team has already got the frontal tower. Now gonna working on the Rax. Rax down about half HP. The bear by himself would not be enough. A lot of stuns being dropped on the bear. The bear will get murdered. Someone call PETA. Oh man, Rax goes down on the mid, and the second Rax to soon to follow. I think CLG could back off safely after this one. Shackle shot not gonna latch, and CLG says, okay, we'll back off for now.
You know, we talk about it all the time, Luby. CLG is one of these. We see teams that have. Oh, pajkatt, really? Okay, he's going back to base. I was gonna say, is he really going to fight this? Because that would completely contradict the point I was about to make, which is CLG is a team very similar to LGD. They usually get ahead pretty early, and whenever they do get a lead, they don't give it up. I mean, maybe once in 10, 20, 30 games, even against this caliber of opponents, if you give CLG an inch, they will take a mile, and they will never look back. They will not give up this lead. I'm not calling the game over, but I will be absolutely dumbfounded if M5 come back. Not even anything against M5. That's just how safe and stable CLG is. Once they get that lead, there's no looking back for them.
Heaven's Outbreak being finished on Sand King, one of my favorite items of all time. Never really purchased in a high-level game like this. I don't really know why. I mean, it gives you just as much HP, if not more, than a Vanguard. Of course, the evasion on a Strength Hero is absolutely beautiful, and the block, or not the block, the prevention attack mechanic against a Lone Druid Bear, that's absolutely insane. But for now, the Roshan is happening. It's very, very low. And let's see if Radiant's going to go in. Lacoste pop his pipe. He's trying to run in. Vacuum. He's got a little bit of time. There's a vacuum against Blood Angel. All the spell being dropped on Blood Angel. Who's going to pick up the Aegis? That's going to be absolute key. Nobody focus on the Roshan right now. Lone Druid snatches. He snatches the Aegis of Immortal, but the fight is going the other way. Invoker pops his BKB. He's trying to focus on Chen. Chen very healthy, very tanky. He has a Gold Scepter as well. Morphling gets a Jawline. He's getting a double. Blood Angel TP's out. Wow. What a steal, but unfortunately Invoker does not have that TP channeling Girl Strike. That's going to connect. BKB already being used, and I do believe Invoker's going down for sure.
I just gotta say, how the hell do you TP out of that one? He's surrounded by like 50 armed security guards, and somehow he just calmly struts on out of there. Doesn't matter though. There's your GG, 23-6 for CLG. Luby, I can't believe it. This game was 4-1 in favor of M5. Since that time, it's been CLG getting 22 kills to 2. This team, once they start rolling, man, there is no stopping them. M5 go for something different. They go for more of a stable team. Oh, Echo Slam PGG. They want Miracle. The GGs have been called, but it wouldn't be an M5 game if they don't call GG and then go for some kills anyway here. And it looks like Blood Angel still fighting under the shadow of pajkatt and Lacoste. Waveform in. Decent right-click damage. No eye of skating just yet, although he's got the gold for it now, pretty much. The bear probably going to go down again. Disconnect start to come out. And that should be the game. Indeed it is. Valve put an end to it. They've had enough, and it's CLG 1-0 to start the group stage play. Man, for a game with only 30 kills in 40 minutes, that was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun indeed. The international group stage action will be continuing your way. For a full schedule of what's going to be happening on my channel, you could go to twitch.tv/Luminous Inverse. But for now, the second game that's going to be coming up after this is MTW versus Tongfu. East meets West. I love games like this. That's going to start at 11 Pacific, which is exactly 1 hour from now. I have no idea what Valve has scheduled for us, but for now, Game 1 goes to CLG. All of this, by the way, is best of 1 series because we are in the group stage. And MTW versus Tongfu coming up in an hour. We'll figure out what...
You know, Lumi, they're actually, the way the tournament is being organized, they're playing both of those matches back-to-back. So each team plays each other twice.
Okay, so
we're having Game 2 of M5 versus CLG right now. Lobby is up, CLG in here. I'm guessing the players will take a brief break. So everybody, this is your chance to grab some water, grab your popcorn, and get ready for Game 2 because it is coming soon.